iiRcade has struck gold today. They have released Ninja Spirit, the 1988 classic ninja game. Let's get into it and show how awesome this game is. The 80s and 90s brought ninjas to the mainstream American audience, starting with 1984's Karate Kid, and then transitioning into children's hearts in the late 80s with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which brought us to the video games. This brings us to the video games. In 1988, Nintendo Entertainment System got the arcade classic port of Ninja Gaiden, considered a top game on the NES. 1989 brought us Revenge of Shinobi on the Sega Genesis system. What a great ninja game that people rave and rant about and play to this day. The TurboGrafx 16 got in the action, getting Irem's Ninja Spirit arcade port, which was the first game ever to receive a perfect 10 from one of the editors of Electronic Gaming Monthly. This brings us to today, where Irem's Ninja Spirit arcade game has finally been released for the iiRcade for currently the low price of $9.99. A great get for only $10. This arcade game includes the full backgrounds and the bar at the bottom that shows you the switching between the weapons. What an awesome title. Watch as these fellow YouTubers agree as they talk about the nearly arcade perfect TurboGrafx 16 port.
Number one for me is a game that I knew nothing about before I started diving into this collection, and it's very fun. It's called Ninja Spirit, and it's a lot like other ninja scrolling games that you might have played, like Ninja Gaiden or Shinobi. But there's something really kinetic and fun about this game and kind of magical, right? Like the power-ups that you get are so fantastical, the huge boss fights that you get into, the fact that ninjas are popping out of every nook and cranny on the screen. There's a lot going on. It's almost got a shooter, vibe to it because there's so much chaos and so many things happening. I've said this before, my favorite power-up that you get fairly early on in the game is just so cool. You get the ability to kind of clone other warriors, other versions of yourself into the fray, and then you're dodging and weaving and bouncing, and it's just this cascade of brutal sword swipes and projectiles just flying all over the screen. Beautifully handled. I love this game, and I think one of the main reasons why I think it's such a great first grab for me is the fact that it was a total surprise. This is a system that I knew very little about, and there are lots of standout titles on here, lots of other games that I definitely think are worth your time, but Ninja Spirit is the one that just jumps to the front of the pack, and that's why it is number one.
Number 3.
Ninja Spirit.
Continuing with the trend of great arcade ports on the TurboGrafx 16, Ninja Spirit may in fact be the best. You play as a young ninja named Moonlight who is on a mission to avenge his fallen father. Moonlight automatically has 4 weapons at his disposal, which can be powered up as you progress. My favorite is the Rising Dragon, which can be a screen destroyer. You can also get a power-up that will let you multiply shadow ninjas that echo your movements. This can be as much of a help defensively as offensively. The gameplay, much like in Legendary X, is relatively simple, and the controls are near perfect, which is very important as enemies attack from all directions and things get pretty hectic at times. Even with everything happening on the screen, there is minimal slowdown. Very impressive. Ninja Spirit, in my opinion, is still one of the best games available today.
Ninja Spirit! Sorry I couldn't resist. This is an excellent ninja game from Irem based on the arcade. I love the floaty jumps and some of the crazy power-ups that you can get. This was eventually packed in with the Turbo Duo among many other games for very good reason. This is an excellent game.
For our list for this episode is Ninja Spirit, one of the best games for the system. This is essentially Ninja Gaiden.
Okay.
But the graphics really blew me away for the time. I mean, we were not seeing these kind of graphics. And it's beautiful. You're a ninja. You fight other ninjas and monsters, etc. But what's cool is you have all these powers where you can actually make clones of yourself. So there's a lot of action going on the screen. Enemies do the same kind of thing, and a lot of psychedelic stuff happens.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
We're going to play this. It's really cool.
Funny, every major console has always had a standout ninja game that has become very memorable. The NES had Ninja Gaiden, the Genesis had Revenge of Shinobi, the Master System had Shinobi, the regular Shinobi, and on the TurboGrafx we had Ninja Spirit. Wow, what a breakthrough game. This game just blew my mind back in the day, and it was a game that I used to brag to my friends about. You know, if anybody was like, oh, fuck the TurboGrafx, I'd be like, check out Ninja Spirit and shut the fuck up. And as soon as they saw Ninja Spirit, they're like, wow, this is really nice looking and a beautifully playing game. And it's a side view game where you play, you know, a ninja. You can get multiple shadow ninja forms and attack using multiple shurikens and multiple weapons. It just blows your mind about the power-up possibilities. And it comes off as very simple to begin with, but gets a little bit harder as the game goes along. So the first few levels, again, you breeze through, no problem. But in the later levels, they get a little bit more challenging. But a TurboGrafx game that really stood out. A game that made you proud to be a TurboGrafx owner and to justify it to all the other kids in the neighborhood that were condemning the TurboGrafx so forcefully. Ninja Spirit was easy to make the system look amazing.
So I checked out Ninja Spirit originally because of Happy Console Gamer. I had a friend that had a TurboGrafx. I never played Ninja Spirit on it, so I was glad that he had recommended this one. And just look at all the rave reviews for Ninja Spirit. With all these TAD Corporation games, all these Irem games the iiRcade is getting, you can't say we don't have good games on the iiRcade. Let me know what you think of Ninja Spirit. Let me know what you think of all these reviews. I'd like to give a special thanks to Michael B for appearing in the video. That's a classic Michael B video from about 9 years ago. Michael B The Game Genie. Make sure you check out his channel. Make sure you check out the channel of all the people listed below. I will link them in the description, as well as give them credit for their work fully. And I can't wait to play more of Ninja Spirit. Go on the Friday night arcade show and play some of these great Irem games. And I will see you in the next one. Please like, subscribe, and comment.